This podcast is not suitable for work. If you're under the age of 18, kindly and with all due respect, get the fuck out. I mean it. Go on. Bye-bye. See you later. This isn't for you. Nope. America has a strange relationship with sex. We're obsessed with it, but it terrifies us. We censor it because it's constantly being shoved down our throats. But our dirty little secret is we like things shoved down our throats, especially when we're in bondage, or we're wearing leather, or being slapped around a little bit, and oh, God. I'm Sunny Megatron. Join Ken Melvoinberg and I as we explore, dissect, and demystify American sex.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. American Sex with Ken Melvoinberg and Sunny Megatron.
Ken, it's
What?
your birthday today. You're 49 years old. So 49 years ago today, on October 30th, your mother squoze you out of her vagina.
You know, watching you and listening to you talk about squoze, the only thing that I can think of is that this has been the fartiest day of my entire life.
You're going to have a birthday party.
A farty party. Party.
Yeah.
So I did something rather disgusting. I decided that I was going to play a practical joke on Sunny and called her and said, look, there's something really bad. You have to listen to this. And I sent her an audio.
No. Wait.
Oh, you're going to
I got to break into the story.
You're going to correct me on my birthday?
Because, no. Ken, shut up. Stop manipulating me with your birthday.
Stop gaslighting birthdaying me.
Yes. Stop birthday candling me.
Okay.
I'm in the Target.
Tell my story the way that you want.
I'm in the Target.
You're the Target.
It's a fucking wreck. We're buying shoes for my daughter. There's 3 people that work at Target all near me picking up all the shoes that all the sloppy people left. Ken calls me. Listener, you must know Ken is the worst liar in the entire world.
I really am. I'm a terrible liar.
And you were so convincing. He's like, Did you check your text messages? And I'm like, no. And he sounded really serious. He's like, you need to check your text messages right now. And there's an audio that you have to listen to. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, is everything okay? Like immediately I thought somebody was dead or something. No, it's an audio. You have to listen to the message. It's just, I can't explain it. You should just listen to it firsthand. And I'm like, oh shit. So I take my phone. I've never gotten an audio clip text message before. So I did not know that it was going to play on speaker, and my phone was on maximum volume with 3 Target employees hovering around me. I press my phone, and this is what I hear really loud. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like fumbling with my phone. And then I started laughing, and then I called him, and I think you laughed for 5 minutes straight on the phone.
I'm on my birthday every year, I'm 13 years old. I swear to God.
Yeah. So, Ken, happy birthday. You got to fart like a 13-year-old. Are you happy?
Yes, I'm very, very happy.
Well, I thought the way I wanted to celebrate your birthday was not with a fart.
So how did you want to celebrate?
I mean, unless you really want to try. Well, I did want to try something a little like fun and sexy and a little freaky.
So let's do a farty party.
No.
Because it's not about me on my birthday? I think this is the one time of year it is about me.
But I'll fart on you, but I don't think you're going to want that. I don't want you to fart on me.
Oh, let's have a fart off.
Ooh. No. So, I want to do something fun, sexy, and a little freaky. So what do you think?
Well, I think that we live a pretty freaky life to begin with. We do stuff like clown orgies. I have thrown a D20 down a horse speculum and hit your cervix with it. We go to sex camp every year, and we do all these sort of weird, kinky things, and what are you going to do to top that? I mean, what?
Well, you've heard of grapefruiting, right?
Oh, yeah, I love Auntie Angel. Auntie Angel's a friend of ours, and she does this amazing thing with grapefruits and blowjobs.
Yeah. She cuts the ends off the grapefruit. You cut a hole in the middle, and you use it as like a masturbatory device to jerk. I'll jerk you off with it while I blow you. And it's supposed to feel like I am giving you head and fucking you all at the same time. The best part is the noises I have to make.
Can you make noises like Auntie Angel?
Yeah. Okay, ready? Oh, God, I think I'm going to choke. There's not even a cock in my mouth.
You're not as good as the Auntie Angel.
Oh, stop it.
At the noises.
Okay. Well, okay, then be happy because I'm not going to grapefruit you because that's been done. That's so last year. I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to take it to like clown orangey and horse speculum level.
Cloud orangey?
Orgy, not orangey. Yeah.
That sounds like a Trump thing that I don't want to be involved with.
God, no. All right. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What is that?
Tacoing! I'm going to rub pico de gallo all over your balls, Ken.
I don't know how I think about that, but look, keep going.
All right. I'm going to squeeze that tortilla around your shaft and feel that sour cream oozing around and that shredded cheese causing just the right amount of friction.
Well, okay, this is looking a little weird. I was thinking like Taco Bell taco, but this is at least it looks a little fuckable. Maybe not.
All right. Okay.
Why are you putting on a birthday hat?
Because you're not into the taco thing. That's fine. I get it. That's fine. It's not festive enough. It's not birthday enough. But now, birthday caking! Feel that buttercream icing between my fingers. I just want to wrap my mouth around.
Nope.
How about something soft
Mm-hmm.
and warm?
Yeah.
And tight?
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And buttery and a little stringy for some friction. And topped off in a nice tomato Alfredo sauce. It's spaghetti squashing, Ken.
No.
Come on.
How about just a good old-fashioned blowjob for my birthday? Something, I don't know, kind of vanilla, and I don't mean the food. No icing or no ice cream.
Come on.
Just a regular blowjob.
Icing? Little icing?
No. I've done it before, and it gets stuck in my cock, and then it gets hidden in weird corners. And
you could be a cock pop.
I could be, but you know what? I would like to just spend some nice quality time with you, and you give such good blowjobs. I just want a regular, good old-fashioned blowjob.
Oh, isn't he sweet? You're so sweet, Ken.
I love you, sweetheart.
Oh, I love you, too. Well, too bad, because this day is going to end with a grapefruit blowjob, but not,
Excellent.
not just for you, but for all of us, because our guest this week is grapefruit blowjob sensation herself, Auntie Angel. So we talk about everything from, like, the real story behind the blowjob noises. She's been told she sounds like Darth Vader with asthma giving head, which is kind of accurate. We talk
and
about
it's kind of hot.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah? Okay.
No, the way she does it.
Oh, fuck. She needs to give me some lessons. All right. So we talk about the new Girls Trip movie and how one of its stars, Tiffany Haddish, totally did her dirty. We talk about what it feels like to be the subject of thousands of memes and reaction videos and parodies and how she went from thinking sucking dick was disgusting to being the Blowjob Empress, as Ken has crowned her. And Angel even lets some of her inner blowjob dominatrix shine as she gets Ken feeling all hot and bothered. But before we get to that, what's it time for, Ken?
My pre-jingle. Sex toy spotlight. Here it is. Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow. Sex toy spotlight. Here it is. Go. Yeah. This week in the Sex Toy Spotlight, we are highlighting Velskin Premium Silicone.
The Velskin family of products consists of dual-density dildos, cock rings, butt plugs, penis extenders, and their brand new bendable dildos. Velskin products are 100% premium silicone, body-safe, phthalate-free, hypoallergenic, and environmentally friendly, and they're vegan.
When selecting a sex toy, it's super important to consider what material it's made out of. So not everything is body safe or vegan. Silicone is a preferred material because... Stop playing your fart noise. Stop it. Silicone is a preferred material because it is fart safe. You won't even queef. No. No, it's Ken! Stop!
My birthday, I can do what I want.
No. Stop. Let me tell them about silicone and phthalates and all the things. All right, so listen. Silicone, not only is it hypoallergenic, it doesn't contain harmful material, so yeah, it's body safe. But the cool thing is it's non-porous, and that's really important. So porous materials like latex and other plastic blends can harbor harmful bacteria in its crevices. So, for instance, Wonder why that yeast infection just keeps coming back? Well, think about your porous sex toys being a possible culprit. Now, silicone dildos, on the other hand, they are easy to clean. They can be sanitized in boiling water, a bleach solution, or even in the top rack of your dishwasher. So, if all of your light bulbs are going off right now, Ken just farted in real life. Your butt light bulb is going. I don't know if the microphone picked it up, but I will never make spaghetti squash again. Oh, God. Anyway. Ken, tell them about the Velskin products. I'll just continue. If you want to check out Velskin products, head to castlemegastore.com to see them all. And don't forget, you can get 20% off all Velskin premium silicone toys or almost anything you order at castlemegastore.com by using code SUNNY, SUNNY, at checkout. Also, we've got 2 giveaways sponsored by Castle Megastore this week. Well, first, our Wonder O-Wand giveaway ends on Halloween. So if you haven't entered yet, go do it. SunnyMegatron.com/wand giveaway. And we'll draw the winner on Facebook Live on November 1st. And our second giveaway, our harness glass dildo giveaway, also sponsored by Castle, goes live on November 2nd. To enter that giveaway, go to SunnyMegatron.com/harness glass giveaway on or after Thursday 11/2. Thanks, Castle Megastore.
Okay, listener, you've heard of grapefruiting and the grapefruit method, right? A few years ago, Auntie Angel became an instant internet sensation after her Angel's Fellatio Secrets DVD was uploaded to World Star Hip Hop. The Grapefruit Technique blowjob was the highlight of that video. We've edited together a few of the highlights here.
When you grapefruit your man, it's going to feel as if you are giving him head and fucking him at the same time. No better feeling would he ever get than being grapefruited. Now, you have to get his penis erect. So what you're going to do is just suck his dick, just like you said you were going to do. Once he's nice and erect, what you're going to do is replace the grapefruit from your mouth. You're going to twist up and down on his shaft and suck the head at the same time. Now, ladies, remember, grapefruit is also a fat burner, so you're actually losing weight while you're sucking his dick. He's going to be looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? But he'll never say stop. All he's going to be thinking is, I could have been fucking a grapefruit all these years. And that's the Grapefruit Technique.
Okay, so those are just a few highlights. To get the full detail, you have to watch the unedited video. But yeah, the noise, right? I mean, that blowjob noise inspired thousands of grapefruit method reaction videos uploaded on YouTube. There's GIFs and parodies, and they talked about it on Comedy Central. She's been on Howard Stern, Playboy Radio, talked about it multiple times on Cosmo. In essence, Ebony, most recently, she inspired a very memorable scene in the new movie Girls Trip. She teaches interactive blowjob workshops and other intimacy classes all across the United States. Plus, she offers DVDs and other products for those looking to try some new things in the bedroom. Earlier this week, Ken and I sat down with Angel to get the real lowdown on all sorts of things. So without further ado, enjoy the interview. Oh, I rhymed. Ken, stop it. Stop. With us, we have Grapefruit Lady, Auntie Angel. Now, Angel, you have been the subject of memes. There's so many memes and GIFs about you all over the internet. There's reaction videos on YouTube. They've sung about you in pop songs. And I don't know, is there a Saturday Night Live skit yet with you in it?
Not yet. Comedy Central did something, but I don't think they have done anything. That would be so awesome.
Ooh, hey, if anyone from SNL is listening right now, you need to do a grapefruiting parody. All right. So
I have to say, Auntie Angel, there's one thing, like when we first saw your video, I have to admit, the sounds that you were making were so arousing that was something that made me want to meet you. And now it's interesting because you went from like this person with sexual agency that was like very, very erotic to somebody who's a normal everyday person. And I hate to say that it brought you like, it wasn't a negative in any way, shape or form, but it was amazing to me that us as sex educators, and we taught blowjob classes, you did the one thing that actually aroused me about blowjobs, having taught about this for years and years and years. So first of all, thank you for that.
I love it.
I just wanted to say
thank you for even stating that. That's awesome.
You're the one and only person that actually impressed the hell out of me with anything with knowledge with blowjobs, because you are the empress when it comes to this.
Ooh, you're not just the queen, you're the empress.
You're the empress. You're above a queen.
I love it.
So how did you become the queen? Was it like the first time you, I'm sorry, empress. Oh God. Oh God. All right. So was it the first time you ever had a dick in your mouth? You were like, wow, wow, and that was it? Or how did this happen?
Okay. So this is the true story. In my first marriage, I never did fellatio. It wasn't until I was dating this guy and I was in my mid-20s, and he was like, if you want me to keep servicing you, pretty much, giving you great sex, you need to suck my dick. And I'm like, like that's what ugly girls do. I don't have to suck dick. Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, no, you do. So I was like, wow, pretty girls suck dick too. I was really like dumb, didn't know any better, and I thought vagina was it. So as the story goes, I started practicing watching porns, and that's pretty much that was my go-to. And he started telling me what it is that he liked and didn't like. And I realized that, what you do for Henry, you can't do for Bob, like you do for Sally, you can't do for Sue. You had to learn how to customize your sex or everything for that individual. And so the more knowledge, just like any sex educator, the more knowledge you have, the more you want to practice and learn. And that's really how it started to shape. Once he had an orgasm, I thought I was the empress, or at the time, the queen of it.
Thank you.
Because it was so hard for him to, have an orgasm with it. And, a lot of women have that problem. Like, he's really enjoying it, but to make him pop off, it's like a task. And so when he finally did, I start telling everyone. I'm a person that likes to speak. So as the relationship with him and I blossomed, I started learning more things. And that's kind of like how the grapefruit thing came about. Me watching a show, seeing this girl with a handful of fruits, doing it. And literally, I had an orange. I tried to do it with him. And he was so well endowed, the orange exploded.
But did he explode? That's the question.
No, he didn't, because I couldn't even get it on him. So I actually had a grapefruit. And then I cut it up and I started, twisting it, thinking like, okay, I'm like, stroking him, and then I'm sucking him. And he was like, oh my God, I feel like you're sucking my dick and fucking me at the same time. I'm like, really? He was like, oh my God, yes. He actually had an orgasm. And I realized like I didn't even have to do a whole lot. I could just grapefruit them. So I start telling my friends, and that's how the grapefruit came about. And that was like in 97. So I'm 46. So even though that was a long time ago, it was late for me in the game to actually start, giving fellatio. Because I was like about 26, 27 at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm picturing if it were me, all right, if I were in your shoes and I was like, ew, I don't want to take it in my mouth, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly I'm like, I'm going to grab, no pun intended or pun intended, I'm going to grab this by the balls and like really get the best blowjob ever. What was going through Angel's head where you're fumbling around in the kitchen, like cutting up a grapefruit? You're like, oh shit, is this even going to work? Or were you confident? I was always confident because sexually I know I'm good. It was and then his reassurance that, things I was doing was working. So I've never gone into anything probably second guessing myself. I just wanted to perfect it and make it, better the next time. So no, I never fumbled, and I have 50 different techniques. So, like the grapefruit is just one of 50 different ways to that I've given a blowjob. And so, it wasn't fumbling. It was more of just wanting to get the better response. I think for me and even women, we love to see a man squirm and lose his mind. And, then you start asking questions like, was that good? And, when he tells you yes, you kind of high five yourself. So it was that was my motivator, is just taking him somewhere that I thought no other woman can take him.
So I have a really weird question, and I can almost assure you it's one you've never been asked before. When Sunny and I have been teaching blowjob classes for all these years, there was one day that she looked at me and told me, right after she gave me a blowjob, that all women think about how much power they have because they could potentially bite off the dick. And I think that I stopped having blowjobs for almost a week at that point.
You were terrified.
I was terrified just with the thought of that. Have you ever thought about the power that you have, that you could bite the dick, but you don't?
No. Because, you know what? And the reason I think that, because I do have teeth techniques. So I'm always aware of pressure. I'm always aware of safety. Like that's one of my main go-to things is safety, safety, safety. Condom use, talk to the person. So I never thought like I would bite it off. I think that if that was to ever happen, it's probably because maybe he did something to me that made me react, that way. Like, cause sometimes men grab your head and they get so into it. Maybe if a guy was like to slap me or do something crazy, my first instinct will probably be to bite. But that never came across my mind. But I do have biting techniques. Cause some men like that. Some men like, to get punched in the balls and the head bit. So, depending on who you with, he probably enjoy it anyway. But I never thought of that. So no, that is true. That's the first time anyone ever asked me about would I bite his dick off. No, men, I would not bite your dick off.
Well, I think the way Ken asked the question is his fears were asking the question, because that's not like I wasn't
right.
like
I said it wrong.
I want to right. I wish I could be a cannibal. It was just I would never ever bite your dick.
Right.
I mean, unless you wanted to, but just knowing that I had everything that you treasure between things that were so powerful, I could, not that I ever would, but that just made me feel like the Empress.
Right. And you know what? I think my power came more from not being able to bite, just more to kind of bitch him out, which I hate to say it, but it happens where I have the power to make you suck your thumb. I have the power to make you go in a fetal position. I have the power in my mouth to make you ejaculate, and make you even cry. That is so much power. So yeah, the mouth is an amazing thing. And I tell women all the time, men hate for us to talk all the time. Sometimes just put his dick in your mouth and, everyone is winning.
So wait, is Blowjob Angel like dominant Blowjob Angel? Because I was watching the Angel's Fellatio Secrets DVD, the one that hit World Star Hip Hop that like blew you up and made you a meme and a household name. Right. And there was one point you're teaching the blowjob techniques and you're like, oh, and then do this and then do that. And then of course there's some wow. And then, but you're still pretty nice, And then at one point you're like, now turn to your man and say, get the fuck on the bed.
Right, put your dick between your legs. Exactly. Yes. And that's the power. That's the power. Like, every man wants a whore in the bed, but, it's something about that woman that knows how to be dominating in the bed. And a lot of women don't know how to reach that. Like you guys most definitely could teach people that. And you can show them the responses from a man. But from my point of view, I'm only giving one side. And so I'm teaching women or telling women the response that most men will have from it. And most men want it. They watch porn. They watch all these different things. Especially a guy who's in a lot of power. So a guy who is self-employed. He's a boss. He's always telling people what to do. He wants to be submissive. He wants someone to be able to control him normally, unless he's a true alpha male, in the bed. And so I give women those skills, and it's still funny. So somehow I teach, and it's a funny way of teaching that I never knew it was humorous, but it's straightforward and it's informative all at the same time. So it's kind of like I got this flair that I never knew I had until people pointed it out. But yes, Ken, tonight, put your dick between your legs. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes, Auntie Angel.
Oh my goodness. Not many people can make Ken submissive. I'm getting a little nipply. Just listen to this. Okay. So now, all right, everybody knows who the hell you are, including the people that made the Girls Trip movie. So Tiffany Haddish and Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett Smith and a bunch of people did this movie where the girls go on a girls trip, and there is a point in the movie where they do the grapefruiting technique. Mm-hmm. What's the deal with that? Like, did you know about it? What did you, did they consult you?
No, they did not. And it's sad because so let me just say this before I say that. I love the movie. I thought it was funny. I was honored when I did find out that they were doing the technique, because they could have done anything in the world, and they chose to do the Grapefruit Technique, which reached people who I did not reach. A lot of people knew who it was when they saw it, but a lot of people did not. So that was a blessing for me. The bad downside is that, me being African American, I have a smaller window, because there's so many women that, act like they, not into sex and this, that, and the other. So it's newer, and it's a face they can be more familiar with. And let's just be real. Sometimes people feel more comfortable who they can, see themselves being. So that is my market. So when I saw the movie, knowing that it was an all-black film, and all-American writers, producers, all of that, and then the whole movie was based on sisterhood and, having each other's back and loving each other and kumbaya, but yet the woman who really made the movie what it is, because that's what most people refer to that movie is with the Grapefruit Technique, they did not consult me. So it was kind of bittersweet. I'm
like a grapefruit.
Yes, absolutely. Unless you have a ruby red, then it's all sweet. Absolutely. So I'm not mad. I'm a little disappointed because I just got like a text. I get emails now all the time from the movie of people saying, "Oh my God, my guy, penis got burnt because the grapefruit got into his urethra, or he was allergic to it." And if they could have consulted, I would have told them what I teach in all my classes. Put a condom on his penis. You know what I'm saying? Safety is always first, because these are things that we don't know, or we may not have this conversation. You should do this with someone you love, but let's be real, you're not. So if they would have consulted, Tiffany could have most definitely like, girl, let me show you this. First, let me show you how to put a condom on your mouth. It would have been just as funny, but it still would have had that safety issue. And then they could have went straight into the grapefruit. So that's the bad part of not consulting with me, but it's a blessing that, they chose to do my technique. So, yeah.
So, hold on. Wait, give me just a second here. Because you just totally threw me. We're like mouthing to each other, like blah, blah, blah.
So this is, I want to say something to the audience once. I have this weird inability to read lips. And Sunny, as long as we've been married, keeps trying to whisper shit to me. And I have no idea what she's saying. I can't read lips. I have no idea what's going on. And she's looking, she's like, and I'm like, what is that? A grapefruit? What?
And
like,
then you whisper back to me like, I don't know what you're saying, because I can totally read, but then I forget what I was whispering to you because I'm all thrown off. But all right, so
start writing. Stop whispering.
Yeah, write it down. Write it down.
But there was an interview where Tiffany Haddish was like, "Oh, I invented the Grapefruit Technique, and Angel stole it for me." Where you did like all the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and we're like, "Rah!" Like, what did you think when you heard that?
I was very upset at that point, because it's one of you taking the video and putting it in the movie. That's one thing, but to make me now look like a thief from people who don't know me. People who know me knows I've been doing this for years, so it's not even a no-brainer. But me and her are like a 10-year difference. I'm 47. She's 35, 36.
Right. She's like, I've been doing this since I was
exactly. Like, come on, exactly. I'm like, I've been doing this since 97. In 1997, you were like 17, 16. And hey, there's some freaky girls that young, but your mindset doesn't even go there. So, so that was disappointing. And then to find out, because people don't know who I know. Like, people don't know that I actually know you guys. Like, this is not just a video that we're doing. Yeah. I mean, a podcast. I actually met you guys, talked to you. We've done events together. We've actually conversed. So when people realize, like, man, Angel really knows some people, I tell people, be careful what you say, because there's 6 degrees of separation. So the person who actually told her about me called me mad. And she was like, girl, I'm so pissed because I'm the one that told her about you over 10 years ago. And so, those things I was upset. So let me just answer the question. Yes, I was upset, but I do think Essence, because see, for Essence, I've been in Essence twice, but I've actually gone to Essence in New York, where they actually sat down, had a round table, asked questions, and actually asked me for my autograph. And they were like, we've had people here, even Beyonce, we never get excited, but we're amazed. And so they did another recant on that to say, no, Tiffany, sorry. We know Angel is the creator. No.
So Essence was in your corner.
Oh yeah, Essence, Playboy. I mean, everybody basically rolled with like, look, she doesn't have any receipts. She said it, but we can't find anything. So sorry, Angel is still the Empress of the Grapefruit Technique. So
correct, you are the Empress.
Yeah. So
plus, you've been on video for years doing this, so it's not like you just fell off a truck and started talking about grapefruit.
Fell off a truck and your mouth landed on a dick.
Exactly. And plus, I'm also an author, and someone actually sent me my book where I have the Grapefruit Technique in there that even came out before the video. So my receipts are so long in it that I'm like, I don't have to even try to prove myself, because that's not what I do this. I do this the same reason why you guys do it. You want to educate people, make their lives and their sexual lives much better, but understand it at the same time. So it's not like a porn where you're just entertaining people. We are teachers. We're educators. So that doesn't motivate me to try to prove to someone. As long as I'm able to help one person make their lives better, I've done my job. I've done what God put me on earth, because this is what I know God put me here for. And so, you know, all that stuff, it is what it is. I didn't do this to be famous. It just kind of stumbled on it, you know, like, and so with that being said, I'm blessed. I'm happy. And you know, I'm glad for Tiffany. I hope her career, you know, flourishes and she does, you know, her thing, but you know, whatever.
You know what? But she shouldn't talk shit unless she can back it up, which she cannot.
Exactly.
And on that note, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be right back with Auntie Angel and Grapefruity.
I know you're fancy, and I know you've been eyeing some of those luxury sex toys, haven't you, you frisky little fox? Well, I also know that you enjoy a good discount, don't you, dear? You now can get 20% off your entire order plus free shipping at luxury sex toy retailer Lalo.com with discount code Sunny. Yes, dear, you heard me right. 20% off anything your little heart, or, well, other parts, desire at Lelo.com using discount code SUNNY. Yes, dear, you can thank me later.
Hey you, do you like politics? No, of course you don't. Absolutely no one does. Politics is even less fun than that board game with the pegs. You know the one. Little pegs, little tiny multicoloured pegs. No one liked it. Yeah, that one. Exactly. The problem is, politics affects absolutely everything, from that game with the little pegs to your favourite cheese or what poncho to wear when it's humid but cloudy, all the way to less important stuff like education, health, affording to live, and how many times you break your TV swearing at it because the Prime Minister has said something awful again. I'm Tina Duyeb, despite all of my efforts, and every week I waste away my Mondays to bring you the Partly Political Broadcast, a podcast that looks at politics with a dirty side eye and then makes a ton of jokes about it before interviewing a different, genuinely clever guest each week who can actually explain it, and then just when you're sick of crying at the horror of everything, throws in jokes again. Phew! From your Brexits to your Trumps to your global crisis to your economies to your whatever the hell happy-slapped uncooked dough man Boris Johnson has said this week, subscribe and listen to Partly Political Broadcast on the podcast app of your choice and it will all be explained. Unlike that game with the pegs. You know the one. You know the one with the little coloured pegs. Oh, it's such a stupid game. Partly Political Broadcast is out every Tuesday, ready to be fired into your ears like an unwarranted North Korean missile.
Castle Megastore. Once you see their sex toys, you'll want more. I have no idea if Castle Megastore actually has a theme song, but I really dig Castle Megastore. So that's my gift to you, Castle, your very own theme song. And you listeners get a gift too. If you go to castlemegastore.com and use discount code SUNNY, that's SUNNY, when you check out, you will receive 20% off your order. That's amazing. Castle Megastore. When you get your sex toys, you'll be on the floor because you'll be using them so much and they'll be so awesome and you'll save so much money. You'll get more than one and then you'll climax for a really long time and you'll just be passed out and you'll be like, oh my God, give me water. That was the best orgasm ever. All right, we are back. So we were just talking about the girls trip movie, and I think you said Tiffany Haddish had to back it up. I think there should be like a grapefruit blowjob-a-thon where you guys should go head to head. Oh, that's a pun. Oh, that would be funny.
I don't know. I got $1,000 on Auntie Angel. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tiffany Haddish can talk some shit, but like, you know, proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. So
the pudding.
The tapioca. Oh, if it's tapioca, go to the doctor.
The baby batter.
Get some antibiotics if it's like tapioca.
If your cum looks like tapioca, something's wrong, boys.
Yeah. So you were saying that everybody knows you. You know a lot of people, and it's funny because I will meet people and Ken will meet people. Even our teenage daughter one day like turned to me and she's like, "Hey, have you ever met the Grapefruit lady? I'm like, yeah, I totally know her. And she's like, oh my God, Mom, that's so cool.
Yeah, our kids are actually more impressed that we know you than anything that we've done.
Yes. And other people will ask me too. They're like, hey, have you ever seen that video? You know, and sometimes they'll be like, wah, wah, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I know her. They'll be like, what? Really? Can I touch you? Like, you are a huge hit. So do people stop you on the street? This is what I want to know. Have you ever gotten recognized while you were in the produce section?
No.
Buying grapefruit?
And you know why? Because I normally go to one store and everyone in the store knows me already. When they see me, they're like, oh, Dr. Love. So they all know me and they all purchase. But I do get recognized all the time. And it's kind of weird, like to be at a restaurant. I was just there with one of my friends. At a restaurant, and the waiter knew who I was. You know, they want to take pictures, and the bartender, and you know, people just want to take pictures all the time or ask me for my autograph, and it happens all the time. It happens every state I go to, so that's a blessing. It's always positive, you know. So that is a good thing. It's a little scary, you know, because sometimes I'm by myself and. You know, you would hate for someone to try to kidnap me and, you know, have me sucking dick in Tijuana for 25 cents on the corner. You know, they be like, you know, they drug you and they be like, this is the dick sucking lady. 25 cent blowjobs. You're like, oh my God, I did all that for 25 cents. This is horrible. But,
I would hope you would at least tell them that you're worth $250.
I know, but you know, we'd be in Tijuana and it's cheaper out there. So I'm just, you know, so, I do stay cautious and try to be mindful. I look different all the time. So sometimes people don't recognize me, which is kind of cool at the same time. But I did realize like I am becoming like truly a household name, which is just like awesome. Like, you know, people say, you know, when you die, what's your legacy? And even though I have children, I love my children and that's part of my legacy. Auntie Angel will always be here forever, you know, once I'm gone. So that's a blessing.
That is so amazing. Now, you did a Vice.com video, if I'm not mistaken, with Kimberly Kane, and I didn't realize this until just now, but my birthday twin and one of my best friends, she's like practically
By the way,
sister to me.
birthday twin?
Yeah, I know. It's coming up soon. Hudsy Hawn from
Yes!
Stockroom is one of my best friends, and she's my birthday twin. We're both born on October 30th. And you taught at Stockroom in the past, but I want to talk a little bit about this Vice video. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. Okay. So, and it's so funny because actually I did that after I met you guys.
Right.
And then I asked you guys about it. You was like, oh God, yeah, I know her. Like, tell her I said hi.
We were like, go do it. If they're great, go do it.
So, I did Vice. They interviewed me, maybe like the year prior. One of the best interviews I've ever had. It was just amazing. Their writers are amazing. But then of course they flipped and had the Munchies, which is the video with food and sex. And so they hit me back up and asked me, did I want to do it? Flew me out to LA and did it. And and it was an amazing, experience because that was actually my first video being, filmed and me actually being able to do what I did. So they was like, well, do you have more than just a grapefruit? So I actually came up with the cucumber. When I did that, that was the first time anyone ever seen my cucumber technique. I came up with the explosion with the whipped cream and the honey nut swirl. And so I was like, yeah, I got other stuff, but I didn't. I actually had to make it up as I went there. And because I wanted to be on the show. So, I did it. They were amazing team. The group were really professional. It was an all day shoot. I loved it. And then we brought people in to interact with us. So, I was really surprised that they had relaunched it recently, because of course it was on YouTube and I did that like in 2015. Mm-hmm. And so when people kept tagging me like, oh, it's this girl trying to do your thing. And I was like, when I saw it, I was like, that's me. Y'all so crazy. It's
like Angel's got different hair again.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, they did it like October 7th. Like by the 20th, it was like, 36 million views. I'm like, oh my, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And so, it had been out for years, but, once people resurface it, it's so many people who haven't seen me that it's like a totally new audience. And then people who have seen me never saw that. They only saw just the Grapefruit Technique. So they did it at a perfect time. You know, they kind of played it off of the Grapefruit, the girls trip thing, and just took it to a whole nother level. So, you know, it's a blessing because I haven't really had to like really do too much else other than those two things that has made more views than I could ever imagine.
Auntie Angel had a really great point that if you don't know who she knows, and because we know a lot of people in Hollywood, and you know a lot of people in Hollywood, if you're going to use her product, hire her as a consulting producer and pay her. Because she is the owner of this intellectual property. She's the one who created it. And I think it's just really important that you get recognized for your work, not just like somebody taking selfie, but, you know, you need to be paid for what it is that you do because publicity is great and all, but it doesn't pay the damn electric bill.
And, you know, my thing is I don't charge a lot for anything because I didn't get into this to get paid, but I do have bills. I have children. And just like anybody, all of those people got paid for their work. None of the people on that set, I'm sure, did anything for free. As far as, you know, the girls trip. So, you know, and then I do have another movie that's coming out. I'm not really sure if I can say it because, it hasn't come out yet, but they did, you know, I got contract. They paid me the whole night. So that's good. The only, to be honest with you, they're the only ones that I hate to say it, who's ever done that without consulting and paying me. The only, yeah, it's been many things out there with my my likeness or my name attached to it, but they're the only ones that did that. Yeah.
As you know, Sonny and I are in an open relationship, and I have a girlfriend in Ohio, Lily, and she wants to know how you came up with the Waterfall Technique.
You know what? I watched so much porn. And learning.
Can you describe the Waterfall Technique so people know what we're talking about?
So the Waterfall Technique is a saliva technique of releasing saliva, and it goes in a circle that looks like a waterfall. But most people think of a waterfall as straight, but I called it that because it was a spin on it. So it's really kind of a tornado. I probably should have renamed it tornado, but I wasn't thinking at the time. I was like, oh, waterfalls.
It's a spit-nado.
Yes! I love that. Oh, spit-nado. I'm going to have to use that and then give you a couple of dollars for it. And so, and it came from whenever I saw porn, they did with you know, a lot of women who on porn call it the stringing technique. It's kind of when they take the saliva, touch it to whatever part of a person's body and their tongue, and it strings out the saliva. And so that's all you really ever see. It is erotic because that's what you're used to. But I'm so different and I get bored easily. I want to do something different. And I produce a lot of saliva, probably more than most. And so I needed to figure out how to release this to make it sexier. And the technique is so simple. It's just as the saliva is falling from your mouth, you just move your tongue literally just back and forth. You don't have to spin it around back and forth. Gravity takes hold to the saliva and it automatically spins it out. And so I was able to learn how to do that. The faster you do, the faster the more the spiral goes. And then once it kind of breaks off, I'm able to just suck it back up. So it's kind of like up and down. So it's so sexy and just so different. And I loved it. And there's no one else that was doing it. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's amazing. In fact, one of the best memories I have of you is like you guest starred in one of our blowjob classes at Meow University, and she had an entire classroom of people doing the waterfall on some dildos. And it was amazing just watching everybody try. Like, I know that we can't like video people in our class, but God, I wish I could, just because that was hilarious watching everybody trying this technique and learning it and laughing and just having an amazing time. And like that is so erotic sometimes. And I think about, oh my God, that's going to make me not last very long, which leads into my next question. What's with the 5-minute blowjob technique?
Because I have 50 different techniques, what I came up with over the years were taking some of the techniques and putting them together in a blowjob. Some are very invasive, like not far to good when you shove his penis in. And then some are very least invasive, like something like even the waterfalls, where your mouth is not doing a whole lot of work, but you're still being stimulated visually. And I learned if you put those together that you're able to make a man orgasm quicker. Because sometimes women are very predictable. They tend to do the same thing over and over. Unless you have a man who every time you do certain things to him, he's always going to ejaculate. Those are wonderful. But there's men out there that try not to have an orgasm orally because he has that mindset of no one's ever made me have an orgasm and you're not going to be the one because I don't want to give you that power, which is just the dumbest thing to me. If I can come, please make me come. I'm going to give it all to you. But there are people who have that mindset. So I came up with this where majority of men, I would say at least 90%, will orgasm within 5 minutes or less, and her mouth never gets tired because the least invasive techniques give her mouth a chance to relax while he's still being stimulated. And so it just works out. And that pretty much is it.
So do some people though, like, I don't know if take offense is the right word, but like, I don't want to come in 5 minutes. I want to keep going. Like, are some people like, no, I want it to last? Or are most people like, yeah, let's get it done in 5 minutes?
Yeah, so this is the mindset that I tell. There's different types of blowjobs. You know, there's some that, oh my God, he's finna go to work and I want him to get off because I want him to think about me all day. That's a good 5 minutes. Get him off and let him go.
Yeah, Sonny, that's a really good 5
yes,
minutes.
Exactly.
How about before your optical appointment this afternoon?
There
Is
you
that
go.
the pre-eye appointment 5-minute blowjob?
And then there's those blowjobs, of course, that some men don't want to come because he wants to still make love to her. And, you know, he doesn't want to get into that second, you know, routine. So those are ones you get them off is pretty much a strictly foreplay going on. So you suck them, then you have sex, and then, you know, you can suck your juices off his dick, and then you just go back into it. So those are the prolonged blowjobs that you don't want to have to, you know, make them come really quick. And then you can have that great happy ending where it might only take 2 or 3 minutes to make an orgasm because you already had sex and all of that. So it depends on what it is you're looking for, what it is you want to do. But there's women who are just sucking him off, trying to make him come, and it takes forever. They're into 30 minutes. It should never take 30 minutes to make him come. It can take a 30-minute blowjob if you're doing other things. But just to make him actually have an orgasm, oh no, I don't have time for that. I got to go to work. I got to cook dinner, but it just depends. It really just depends. But the 5 minute was also a great marketing tool. I mean, at the end of the day, there still is a business. The sound effects are marketing tools as well. I'm unforgettable because of it. You know, it doesn't every time I suck my guy's penis that I'm making them sounds, but for whenever you're presenting yourself to the world, you do want those different things that people are going to be like, oh my God. I remember her because of those sound effects. Oh my gosh, she said she could teach a 5-minute blowjob. You know, can it happen for everybody? No. But, but it has happened. So let me just say that it most definitely has happened.
So, okay, you said the was a marketing tool. So the first time you had a dick all the way in your mouth and you're like, yeah, this is a great marketing tool. Or like,
no, the first time I did it, I did not make all those sounds. But think about it. He was very well endowed. And because of that, it automatically made sounds in my mouth anyway, because it was so much going on. I had to try to figure it out. And then because I started producing all this saliva with him jamming it in my mouth, started making me make sound effects. And I was like, what is that sound I'm making? And then I started realizing that it was that hawking sound that he was making me do. But I was able to do it without a dick in my mouth as well. So that's how I start teaching women. Like, it does make it less invasive on your throat to make that sound because you're kind of faking the funk of it. It helps buffer the back of your throat. It helps to agitate the saliva, so it makes it thicker and foamier. That's the anatomy of it all. And then most men do not want you to be silent giving them head. They want you to enjoy it. Everything that has a sound effect is more memorable. Think of every movie that we've ever watched. Right. Every movie now has soundtracks. They've always had them. There's underlying music to the lead up to something that's going to happen. When there's scary movies, we know Jason, we know Jaws. All the things have sound effects. So I learned to incorporate that as well because I am a thinker. And as women, we do overthink a lot. So I did have to make my presentation different because every woman, maybe not everyone, but majority of women do like to be better than the last chick. So I had to make, what can she do to stand out in the crowd? And those sound effects most definitely are parts of it.
So the sound effects are memorable, and obviously you are reaping the benefits of the grapefruit method and blowjobbing. However, there are some criticisms. Like some of the things I've heard, it's like, you sound like a vacuum. I think one of my favorites was Darth Vader with asthma gives head. And how do you take those criticisms? Do you laugh them off, or do they get to you?
They're hilarious. Like, I saw one where they even had the exorcism, and they was like, I'm doing the, and they were like, the power of grace, the power of Christ compels you. The power of, I said, they are like doing an exorcism on my sound effect. Man, that is hilarious. That is so funny to me. I've seen me on, if someone was like to put in YouTube, Auntie Angel, at, oh my God, I can't even think of the name of what's the little characters, the kids with they have like the
South Park.
South Park. Oh my God. They showed me in the kindergarten room teaching the kids the Grapefruit Technique, and their eyes are blinking, and their mouth, they like, wow. So those things are funny to me because someone actually took the time to even like critique what I do. So to me, those aren't negative. The negative ones I've really heard was like someone, calling me out my name, or, you're a whore. But then I teach women how to get their hoe up. So I'm like, well, you calling me a whore or a bitch really kind of turning me on as well. So that's not really that bad. My kids, because they're on the internet, have seen comments of people. So, they used to get upset. Now they like, Mom, you're just famous. So they learn to, and I tell people are going to always have something negative to say about everyone. It doesn't matter how perfect you are or what you do. You can go out there and plant flowers and give flowers to the homeless, and they be like, oh my God, look at her. She's picking up God's nature and just giving it away to people who are dirty. So it doesn't matter what you do. Someone's going to always have something to say. I focus more on the positive of what people say and people I help than the negative. That energy is wasted, so, and I've learned that the hard way. I've had many tears, but I've had great people, mentors that, told me, the things that I'm telling you now is you focus on the positive because there's always going to be negative.
Right. And so your kids are like, that's my mom. My mom's a great lady. She's awesome.
And their friends are like, oh my God, that's your mom. And then, so they've learned to embrace it, because they understand the backstory of it. Like, I'm here to help women and help relationships. And that's like positive. You can't, how can you find negative in that? And if you can, then whatever, go suck a dick.
I had to add one thing. Like, I've actually gone to bat for you. Like, when people start talking smack online and on threads, like, they don't know you. They don't know that you're, I guess they lose sight to the fact that you're a real person with feelings and that you're not just there for their entertainment. So I'm glad to hear that, like, you've been able to turn, these lemons into lemonade. That's good on you for being able to do that, because it's really hard having that criticism come towards you.
Ken, you missed upon lemons into lemonade, grapefruit into grapefruit.
And it's so funny, when I first grapefruited my guy, at the time it was my boyfriend, I had a lemon, an orange, and a grapefruit. So of course I didn't use a lemon because that just sounds crazy. But people actually lemon their men, like women who say I prefer the taste of lemon. And they have showed me cutting the size. It's the same texture, the same type of, everything. So women have limited their men, grapefruited, orange, of course, cucumber. But I've seen people actually try to use a strawberry. I said, pull little man. Whatever works for you guys, do what you got to do. So yeah, the lemon is a technique. Yeah.
I mean, I'd get a bit worried if you have to get up to the size of a camel.
Yeah, and it was this one guy who was like, "Oh, can she use a watermelon?" I'm like, "Is your dick really that big, really, sir? Like, let me see, pull it out, let me see." Yeah.
Do you get, as everyone knows who you are, people talk to you online, I'm friends with you on Facebook, I see all the comments. Do you get a lot of people rudely propositioning you or sexually harassing you?
All day, every day, because I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on, Snapchats. I mean, these people are behind their computer with balls of steel. And they are, coming to me in all kind of ways. Like, I had some guy, he was like, "Can you grapefruit my chipmunk penis?" I'm like, "Sir, your penis is the size of a chipmunk?" I'm like, "I don't think grapefruit gonna work." People were like, "Can you, I lick your butt? Can I fart in their mouth?" They send me pictures of their penises and, can I suck this? Can I stroke this? So it comes with it. I think the beginning of my career, that was hard. But now,
Right.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
And it doesn't wear on you. Because I know I get tons of dick pics, and I'm sure you get them more than I do. And some days I'm like, yeah, whatever, it rolls off my back. And then some days I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, but it comes with it. It's kind of like when you open this door, this Pandora's door, you're going to expect those things. So it doesn't bother me anymore. Actually, it's just one more person. And I come back with them. I'm like, oh my God, like me and your mom will tear you off. And they be like, my mother? Yeah, I'm a mother. I got 2 sons. So if you want to fuck me and I'm a mom, then let's fuck, me and your mom. We can all do this together. So, so I've learned how to like flip it and be a little sarcastic with it. It shuts some people down. There's some people you have to block.
And then some people who are probably into it, like, yeah, you, me, and my mom. And you're like, ah, shit, that backfired.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, okay, send me a picture of her. Let me see how, I know how to take it to the next level. Like, send me a picture of her. Let me see if I'm into your mom. So I've learned how to make it funny. So I'm so Hakuna Matata. Nothing really bothers me anymore. I think the last thing that bothered me was the girls trip thing, because it was a little more personal for me, just because I was, saw that as a thief. Them doing it didn't bother me. It was me being called a thief, was more a bother because she had a bigger platform than I did, at the time. But, and again, I realized that there's going to always be things of that nature, but it doesn't stop me from pushing. I've second guessed it. Sometimes people can't get to you because you're still human, and you second guess, is this something I should be doing? Should I just be working at Walmart, greeting people and saying, how you do? But then I'm like, I'm not really helping anyone, and that's not my destiny. God put me here for a bigger plan. And I mean, Oprah is a billionaire, and people say they can't stand her. Beyonce is a billionaire and people said I can't stand Beyonce. And those women go to the bank every day, not worrying about those people who that don't like them or don't, care for them. That what feeds them is the people that do. And that's my motivator.
A lot of the techniques that you publicly talk about, at least, because and if you haven't had a chance yet, buy her DVD. A lot of your techniques are centered around food. Do you personally have a food fetish? Are you into the splashing and rolling around in it?
Do you have tarps in your closet?
No, and you know what? I don't. And I saw the splashing on Munchies with them was doing someone else. I was like, oh my God, I love that. You know what the thing is that yes, I do like to eat. I'm not a little girl. And if you can incorporate something that you like with something that you love, why not do it? But I have way more just fellatio techniques than food techniques. Like I said, I have 50 different techniques. I think only about 5 of them are with food. I have a couple with fantasies that are with food. I just wanted to broaden people's horizons and make them think outside the box, because sex can be boring if you tend to do the same thing over and over again. But there's so much that you could do with sex that you can have a lifetime of fun and do other things. And a lot of people don't know how to think outside. And that's where we come in. You and I are those extra platforms to give people something to do and something to stay out their comfort zone and to explore it. And so but no, and I want to even take it to another level with it. I teach women way more than just fellatio. I teach fantasies. I teach how spots a man's body. I incorporated milking a man's prostate after learning that from you guys.
Oh, awesome.
I actually incorporate that. Yeah, I did. Because it wasn't something that a lot of, especially African-American men, are comfortable with, because everyone thinks that everything is gay. And I'm like, this is for your health. It's going to make your orgasms better. We have to think outside of it. And then also I teach women how to squirt, painless anal. If a woman has a yeast infection, things that you can do. So it's so much broader. And then my backstory of it is that I've been raped twice by family members when I was younger. And a lot of women that I talk to, because 90% of women will be raped or molested. That number is just ridiculous, but it can happen. And it does change the dynamics of a woman's sexuality. Mm-hmm. They don't look at sex anymore, or they don't even know how to learn that sex is natural and it's beautiful and something that you share with someone. And then there's also something that you just explore even with someone you don't love. You want to get your rocks off and you want to do some things, and it closes them into a closet. And I want to make them look at me and say, look, I understand. I've been there, but I learned to empower it and make it work for me. No one can someone can take something from you. They can. People say people can't take things from you. They can. Someone rapes you, they took your innocence. They took something from you that you didn't want to give. So let's be real. But it doesn't have to shut you down for the rest of your life. You forgive, you move on, and you empower it. And so that is part of my teaching as well. And it's so much bigger. Sex is so much bigger. But I've seen women who husbands have never seen them nude.
Wow. Yeah.
Because there's, and it's crazy when you on this other side that we're on and you hear these stories, it motivates you to be like, I have to keep going because I've got to be on the right track for people to be able to tell you their story, feel comfortable with it, and then you teach them something and they incorporate it and it makes their sex life better. I've got to be winning to make them do better.
Well, thank you for, doing all you do and inspiring people to get a little freakier, go outside of their comfort zone or be creative in bed. Or, as Ken and I say, we teach techniques that people can add to their pleasure portfolio. So then when they're in bed, they can be like, I'm going to take a little of this and a little of that and mix it together and make you have the best orgasm. So
I know.
Yay.
Yes, I love it.
I wanted to thank Your Royal Highness, the Empress of Blowjobs, for coming on our show today.
Thank you guys for having me. I feel honored. I mean, you guys are hot to death. You really are. And I love the fact that you're a couple doing it because for me, I'm just doing it from it looked like a single woman's point of view. And to sit there and see someone who first started off in a relationship, who ended up getting married, who's open with everything they have sexually to show people, like, that's awesome. That's what I want. That's my ultimate end game is to be able to be with someone who's open enough to let's explore and show, because people want to know, like, is her blowjobs really good? Like, that's the number one question. But there's no one that is comfortable enough that I've been with to ever to answer that. So I love you guys' relationship. Like, you guys are awesome. I need a Ken. I need a Ken, honey.
Well, you can borrow him, If you want to borrow him for a night, you can. We swing that way,
Look, now, don't play, because, I got your number now.
I mean, I think that 5-minute blowjob would go down to a 3-minute blowjob if it was Auntie Angel.
But I hate that it'll take you longer. You're like, man, she wasn't even all that. No, it is. My blowjobs are 5. They are.
No, I have no shame. I would last 3 minutes with you. I'm not even going to brag. Not going to do it.
And I'd be sitting there with a clipboard, like an illegal pad, taking notes, like,
and
okay.
a stopwatch. She would be using a stopwatch.
Right. That would be like the biggest turn on ever. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you had your little glasses and you pull them back to see, like, you look at, girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dressing like a little school teacher. Yeah. Okay. So we need to end this interview now because woo. All right. So Auntie Angel, where can people find you?
Okay. So there's several different things that people can do. Number one, you can go to my website. My website is the go-to because it has my email, my phone number, and all the products, classes, which is Angels with an S, ANGELS, erotic, EROTIC. Solutions with an S, SOLUTIONS. So Angels Erotic Solutions.com. On there, I have different classes, the prices, it breaks it all down for the deposits. My book is there, my DVDs, my jewelry line. I have everything for downloads as well. So that is the go-to place. But on my social media, you can go to my Facebook. Facebook changed some things where you sometimes have to put your government name. So my government name on there is Denise Angel Walker. That is my main page. You can go on there. There is locked out, but my page is open so you can follow and see all my good tidbits. On Instagram, it is Auntie Angel 2012. And it's funny culturally, some people say auntie. But, and then other people say auntie. They're spelled the same. So Auntie Angel 2012. And then on my Twitter, I believe it's Auntie Angel 2012 as well. And it's so funny. Isn't it funny? Like when you don't even know. You have so much social media.
And for people listening to, like if people are listening and you're driving in your car and you're like, shit, I can't write this down. This is all going to be in the show notes on SunnyMegatron.com and AmericanSexPodcast.com. So listeners, don't sweat it if you can't write this down.
Cool. Thank you so much. So that helps me. But yeah, on Twitter it's Auntie Angel. Yeah. And it's like the little @Grapefruit Lady #1. And then even on my Snapchat, that is the Grapefruit Lady #1 as well. So either you, and then you can Google, I'm sure probably all that stuff will pop up on Google, Auntie Angel Grapefruit Technique. So thank you guys so much. Like, oh, I love it.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anytime. And I do have some new things coming up, so I will let you guys know, and I can get back on.
Cool. Thank you, Angel.
Yes. You're welcome. Thank you, love.
Thanks for listening to American Sex. To keep up with Ken and I, well, first make sure you watch our TV show, Sex with Sunny Megatron, on Showtime. Then visit sunnymegatron.com. There you can learn more about us, read our blog, peruse our workshop calendar, or hire us. For what? Well, either for private coaching, or to book us to teach at your event or university, or as sex and relationship writers for your publication. Oh, and don't forget, we're on social media too. I'm the super social one, so you can find me as Sunny Megatron on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, my YouTube channel, and a bunch of other places. But if you want to get me on Snapchat, you gotta look for Sunny_Megatron, and you can follow Ken on Twitter at @SyChicken. That's PSYCHICKEN. Also, please support us by shopping with the affiliates and sponsors from our breaks. And if you contribute to our Patreon, we're going to love you forever. Well, we're going to love you forever anyway, but just go with it. Lastly, if you like this broadcast, tell people about it. Tweet it, Facebook status it, and rate it on iTunes and other platforms. Thanks, friends. We'll see you next week on American Sex.